Have you ever stopped to wonder what regrets would hurt the most if one day your spouse were to leave this world before you? It's a question most couples shy away from because the thought alone is heartbreaking. Yet it's one of life's unavoidable truths. And when we choose not to face it, we often leave behind unspoken words, unresolved feelings, and missed moments that can never be reclaimed. The pain of loss itself is inevitable, but regret doesn't have to be. If we can recognize it ahead of time, we can change the way we live today. In this video, we're going to uncover the 5 most common regrets people experience when their partner passes away first. These regrets aren't born from grand events, but from everyday choices, the words we never say, the small moments we take for granted, or the difficult conversations we keep pushing off until tomorrow. But here's the gift hidden inside these regrets, the chance to see them clearly now, while there's still time to change. It's an opportunity to live differently, to love more openly, and to prepare your heart for whatever tomorrow may bring. Stick with me until the end, because understanding these 5 regrets won't just help you cherish your marriage more deeply today, it may also save you from carrying unnecessary sorrow in the future. By the end of this journey, you'll walk away with clarity and courage to live with fewer regrets and a greater capacity for love. So let's begin. Regret 1: not expressing enough love and appreciation. One of the deepest pains people face after losing a spouse is realizing how many words of love were left unspoken. After years together, it's so easy to fall into routine, sharing meals, managing chores, talking about kids or family matters, while forgetting the simplest but most powerful things. Words like "I love you," "You make my life better," "I'm grateful for you" seem small, yet they mean everything. And when they go unsaid, their absence cuts deeply once your partner is gone, leaving behind a longing that nothing else can fill. The truth is, many of us fall into the trap of thinking, "My spouse already knows how I feel." But research in psychology tells a different story. Spoken words of love actually strengthen bonds, ease insecurities, and deepen emotional intimacy. Words are never just sounds in the air, they are love made visible. When they're missing, even if the affection was always there, a quiet ache of uncertainty lingers. Questions begin to haunt the heart. Did they truly know how much I valued them? Did they ever realize how deeply I cared? That doubt can stay with the surviving spouse for years. Take Robert, for example, an 81-year-old man who lost his wife after 55 years of marriage. He confessed that what kept him awake at night wasn't the arguments they'd had, but the countless times he failed to pause and simply say thank you. Thank you for brewing his morning coffee, for folding his favorite blanket, and leaving it neatly at the end of the bed, for showing love in the quiet, ordinary ways. It wasn't until she was gone that Robert realized how much those little gestures had meant and how rarely he had acknowledged them out loud. His story is a powerful reminder love unspoken can turn into regret. Affection isn't meant to be assumed, it must be expressed. Every time you say "I love you," every time you whisper gratitude or hold your partner's hand a moment longer, you're not only filling their heart, you're protecting your own from tomorrow's sorrow. Because love spoken today becomes the comfort you'll carry into the future. Regret 2: avoiding difficult conversations. Another heavy burden for many who outlive their spouse is the regret of dodging hard but necessary conversations. Too often, couples shy away from discussing end-of-life wishes, financial planning, medical care decisions, or even how the household will be managed if one partner is gone. The silence usually comes from a place of love. We don't want to scare the person we cherish or admit that our time together isn't endless. But when those talks are left undone, the spouse who remains is often left with an overwhelming weight. They're forced to make painful decisions alone, uncertain of what their partner truly wanted. Psychologically, avoiding these conversations feels easier in the short term. But the price of avoidance is steep. It leaves behind a long shadow of regret. When the person you love most is gone, the questions don't disappear with them. Instead, they linger in the silence. What would they have wanted? Did I truly honor their wishes? Am I handling things the way they hoped I would? That uncertainty can be just as painful as grief itself, leaving the surviving spouse carrying a heavy guilt that could have been avoided with a few honest conversations and a little preparation. Take the story of Elaine, a 78-year-old woman who suddenly lost her husband. She admitted that she had no idea where the insurance papers were kept, which bills needed to be paid, or even the kind of memorial service her husband might have preferred. Each decision she faced felt like a shot in the dark. And although she tried her best, she lived with a quiet fear that she may have let him down. That invisible burden stayed long after the first wave of grief had passed. The lesson here is simple but profound. Love is not just about laughing together in the good times. Real love also means preparing for the hard times side by side. By opening up these difficult conversations, you give your spouse the priceless gift of peace of mind, and you give yourself the priceless gift of certainty when the day finally comes. Facing discomfort now will always be less painful than living with the regret of confusion later. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, drop a number 2 in the comments to let me know you're with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to hit that button and turn on the notification bell. Your support means the world. It allows us to keep creating content that informs, uplifts, and inspires. Now let's move on. Regret 3. Taking shared experiences for granted. One of the most heartbreaking realizations after losing a spouse is how many ordinary moments could have become extraordinary memories, but didn't. Daily life together often feels repetitive, eating dinner at the same table, running errands on the weekend, or watching TV in the evening. We treat these moments as if they'll last forever, forgetting just how fragile and fleeting they truly are. When your partner is gone, the everyday routine you once overlooked suddenly shines with extraordinary meaning. What used to feel ordinary, a quiet breakfast, a casual walk, a conversation before bed, now feels sacred. And the moments you never made time for, the memories you postponed, begin to weigh heavily on your heart. From a psychological perspective, humans adapt quickly to comfort. We convince ourselves that there will always be more time, another vacation to plan, another stroll through the park, another late-night chat. But this sense of abundance is only an illusion. When life is cut short, it's not the big milestones we ache for the most. It's the small, everyday moments we failed to treasure when we had the chance. Take Carol, a 74-year-old widow. She and her husband always promised themselves, "We'll travel once we fully retire. We'll spend more time together once the house projects are finished." But retirement never came for him, and the projects never ended. Today, she clings to photos of their simple Sunday breakfasts, moments she once thought were too ordinary to matter, but now wishes she had created more of intentionally. The lesson is clear. The regret of taking experiences for granted reminds us that love is meant to be lived in the present, not postponed for some far-off someday. Choosing to pause for a shared laugh, to take a spontaneous weekend trip, or simply to enjoy an evening together with no distractions, these aren't luxuries. They're the true investments of love. Because when one partner is gone, memories are not just nice to have. They become treasures, the lifeboats that carry us through the storm of grief. Regret 4. Neglecting personal independence and identity. Another regret many people discover too late is realizing how much of their own identity faded away inside the marriage. It's natural, especially in long unions, to lean on your spouse for companionship, for decision-making, and even for a sense of daily purpose. But when one partner passes first, the one left behind can suddenly feel adrift, unsure of who they are outside of the U.S. The loss of personal independence can make grief feel even heavier. Because when your spouse is gone, it's not only them you lose, it's also the version of yourself that was completely tied to them. From a psychological standpoint, this regret comes from imbalance. A healthy relationship thrives on closeness, but it also requires space for individuality. When that balance tips too far into dependency, the surviving spouse can feel like their entire foundation has collapsed. The regret often stems from realizing they never invested in their own growth, hobbies, or friendships when they still had the chance. Take James, for example, an 80-year-old man who had been married for nearly 60 years. His wife had always been the one who kept their social world alive. She planned the family visits, kept up with friends, and made sure they stayed connected to the community. But when she passed away, James felt an overwhelming loneliness. He admitted he didn't know how to maintain those relationships without her. His grief wasn't just about missing his wife, it was compounded by isolation and by the regret that he had never built his own independent network of support. The truth is, maintaining your own identity is not selfish, it's essential. Exploring your interests, building friendships, and continuing to grow as an individual doesn't take away from your marriage. It strengthens it. And one day, if you're left to walk alone, it becomes the very thing that sustains you. By nurturing independence alongside love, you give yourself and your spouse the gift of resilience. If you're still with me and finding these lessons meaningful, drop a number 4 in the comments to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Your support makes it possible for us to keep creating content that informs, uplifts, and inspires. Now let's move on. Regret 5. Failing to repair conflicts or let go of grudges. Perhaps one of the heaviest burdens people carry after their spouse is gone is the regret of unresolved conflict. Every marriage has disagreements, frustrations, and moments of hurt. But when those wounds are left unhealed, they don't fade away with time. Instead, they linger long after your partner is gone, turning into a source of pain you can never fix. The silence of death leaves no room for second chances. No chance for apologies. No chance for forgiveness. No chance to finally let go of grudges that in the face of loss suddenly seem so small and meaningless. Psychologically, holding on to conflict may feel justified in the moment. We convince ourselves we'll sort it out later or assume time itself will smooth over the rough edges. But when later never arrives, regret strikes with a sharpness that is unrelenting. Survivors often look back and realize the argument itself was never important. What truly mattered was the missed opportunity to make peace, to say, "I forgive you," or even to share a simple smile one last time. Consider Anne, a 77-year-old widow. Her last conversation with her husband was an argument about something as trivial as a misplaced bill. She never imagined that night would be her final chance to speak with him. After his sudden passing, the weight of that small fight became one of her deepest sorrows. It wasn't the bill that haunted her. It was the love she wished she had expressed instead of the anger she chose in that moment. The truth is, reconciliation is a choice, one we must practice daily. Letting go of grudges doesn't erase the past, but it frees both partners to fully live in the present. When you make peace while you still have the chance, you ensure that if tomorrow never comes, the last memory you carry will be one of love, not conflict. The regret of unresolved conflict is one of the heaviest burdens, but also one of the most preventable. Final reflections. As we close this video, take a quiet moment to reflect on the 5 regrets we've explored together. 1. Not expressing enough love and appreciation. 2. Avoiding the difficult but necessary conversations. 3. Taking everyday experiences for granted. 4. Neglecting your personal independence and identity. 5. Failing to repair conflicts or release grudges. Each of these can leave a lasting ache when a spouse passes first. Yet hidden within each regret is also a lesson and a chance to live differently right now. There is still time to change, still time to love more openly, still time to prepare more wisely, still time to savor the simple beauty of daily life. Loss is inevitable, but regret, that's something you can choose to avoid. By speaking gratitude out loud, by having the conversations that matter, by treasuring even the smallest of days, by nurturing your own growth, and by offering forgiveness freely, you give yourself and your spouse the priceless gift of deeper love and lighter grief. The choices you make today become the comfort and courage you will carry tomorrow. So ask yourself, what change can I make right now to ensure I live in love without regret? The answer you find may turn out to be the greatest gift you give, not only to your spouse, but also to yourself. Thank you for spending this time with us. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below sharing one thing you've taken from this video and how you'll apply it in your life. Your reflections not only encourage us, but also inspire others who may be walking a similar path. And if you found this video meaningful, please remember to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need to hear these words. Your support helps us continue creating content that informs, uplifts, and inspires. Thanks again for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.